Hello, I am taking on a challenge to beat every playable Nintendo published game. Welcome to the second episode. The next game is the Color TV Game 15. That's right, Nintendo wasn't done with Pong clones after the Color TV Game 6. Just a week after the Color TV Game 6, Nintendo released a Color TV Game 15, once again trying to get a chunk of that Pong hype. This one is very similar to the last game. You can almost call it version 2.0 of the game, or perhaps it's more fitting to call it Nintendo's first direct sequel. The original Color TV Game 6 was sold at a loss, with Nintendo hoping the product would help them get a solid foot in the market. To make up for it, the Color TV Game 15 was significantly more expensive. It featured new game modes and detachable controllers to justify its steeper price tag. Fun bit of trivia, the Pong Assist Trophy in Smash Ultimate is officially called Color TV Game 15 and is the oldest reference in the entire game. The game console itself features many returning options. Once again, there are switches for the paddle size, ball speed, double singles, and power. In addition to the green reset button, there is now a mysterious new fire button. The game mode switch has been greatly increased in size. All three game modes from before are present, however, each of them have a new A mode and a B mode. In addition to these new modes, there is a new ping pong mode and a shooting game mode. Each of these have a doubles mode except for the shooting game, making for a total of 15 game modes. Listing each of them out, we have Tennis A, Tennis A doubles, Tennis B doubles, Hockey A doubles, Hockey B doubles, Volleyball A doubles, Volleyball B doubles, Ping Pong doubles, and last but not least, the shooting game. Now, immediately, the first thing I noticed when turning this on was that the paddle speed was much faster. This made the game significantly more playable than the last one. The game controls are also detachable, which made it easier to play next to another person since we didn't have to squish together to get our hands on the knobs. Once again, I recruited the help of my roommate, Dr. Bob. The first mode we played was Tennis A. To my surprise, this was almost identical to Volleyball from the Color TV Game 6. The game mode once again has squares in the middle, representing the net. While at first this doesn't seem any different than the old Volleyball, there was a subtle difference. In this mode, the net would only change the vertical direction of the ball, meaning it would never return the ball back to the side that just hit it. This one was a tight game, and I lost 14-15. Once again, I lost the first game. Once again, I was humiliated. The next mode was Tennis B. This one was identical to Tennis from the Color TV Game 6, and the closest one to Pong. The game has a dotted line in the middle for the net, but it has no actual effect on the gameplay. Once again, I faced a crushing defeat, despite being so close. 14-15. Next was Hockey A. This one featured a unique mechanic. There was a wall across the middle, and the center of the wall would only open if your paddle was the last object to hit the ball. This meant that if you failed to hit the ball and it was reflected by the outer wall, you wouldn't be able to send it to your opponent. Since the goal sizes are smaller in this mode, we shortened our paddle sizes to make it more interesting. Finally, I won a game, 15-12. Next was Hockey B, which was identical to Hockey from Color TV Game 6. In addition to the smaller paddle size, we increased the ball speed since this was a mode we had essentially already played. I also won this one, 15-13. Guess I do better in the Hockey mode. Next was Volleyball A, which was identical to Volleyball from Color TV Game 6. This one also features square blocks that make up the net, but in this mode, the ball can be returned to the player that had just hit it. Something I didn't realize in Color TV Game 6 was that the ball would only reflect on certain blocks depending on the direction it was going. If the ball is moving to the right, it passes through the red blocks and reflects off the green blocks. If the ball is moving to the left, it reflects off the red blocks and passes through the green ones. I won again, 15-11. I'd like to say I was getting better, but I think Dr. Bob might have just been getting ponged out at this point. Next was Volleyball B. This one featured a net that looks like the net from Tennis B. However, this time the net is an actual obstacle. Similar to Tennis A, the net only changes the vertical direction of the ball, and it never reflects the ball back. I won again, 15-12. Next was Ping Pong. This one was a little weird. I think they were going for a side view this time, instead of a top-down view. The net only covers the bottom third of the screen, with the goal being to make it over the net. If the ball was moving upwards when it passed over the net, it would turn downwards to simulate the effects of gravity, bringing the ball back down. That mechanic was a little janky though, and it didn't always seem to work in the ways you would expect it. I lost this one pretty soundly, 10-15. Next, we returned to the previous modes, but with double paddles. Similar to the Color TV Game 6, the doubles paddles didn't add too much. They provide another opportunity to hit the ball back, and since the paddle in the front never reflects the ball backwards, you don't have to worry about accidentally hitting the ball into your own goal. To shake things up even more, we decided to play all of these with smaller paddles and faster ball speed. I dominated in Tennis A doubles, 15-3, and won again in Tennis B doubles, 15-8. Similar to before, Hockey doubles placed the offensive paddle close to your opponent's goal, This made a significant impact on Hockey A, since it made it even harder for the defender to get the ball past the center. I won Hockey A doubles 15-10. I also won Hockey B doubles 15-5. Around this time, I started to realize how important it was to throw people off with quick serves while in fast ball mode. I won volleyball doubles 15-6 and volleyball B doubles 15-11. Finally, I won ping pong doubles 15-7. This brought my total number of wins to 11 out of the 14 modes. Not too bad after such a bad start. Before jumping into the final mode, I wanted to try one last crazy mode, where every round I would change the type of game we were playing. The game keeps track of your score, even when you change game modes, so I wanted to see what it was like to take full advantage of this. I had a hard time managing both the controller and the game controls at once, but I managed to win our last game, 15-11. The last mode was the shooting game mode, which was single player instead of two player. How this game worked was that the paddle on the right would move in a steady, consistent pattern, and the player controlled the paddle on the left. The player would push the red fire button, which would shoot the pong ball, and the goal was to hit the paddle on the right as much as possible. It took me a while to understand the score at first, but it would show you how many you hit on the right and the total number of shots on the left. My goal was to get a 100% win rate, which wasn't too hard since this game boiled down to pushing the red button at the same correct time over and over, since the movement pattern of the right paddle was always constant. I can appreciate them for trying something new, but this game lacked the variety that the player versus player modes had. Alright, that wraps up my time with the Color TV game 15. So, how does this one compare with the previous Color TV game? In a general sense, everything is improved from the last one. The biggest improvements are the faster paddle speed and the detachable controllers. The more game modes are nice too, even if a few of them don't work as well as some of the others. Despite the improvements, it still ends up being a pretty similar experience to the original. There's some fun to be had in the game's simplicity, it just doesn't really have lasting appeal. I gave the game a 5 out of 10. It's cool if you're a collector and really like retro stuff, but it's going to be too difficult to get a hold of to justify the purchase if you don't care about collecting. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more of these in the future, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss out on the next one. Also leave a like if you enjoyed it, since it'll help the channel grow and motivate me to continue the series. I hope I'll see you in the next step of my quest to beat every Nintendo game.